Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for basically whoever wants to hear it right now. This reading is going to be for 2021. We are closing out 2020, such a challenging insane year for pretty much everybody. We're closing it out and we're going to be starting a new year. This reading is to kind of give us maybe maybe a little bit of reassurance to let us know that everything will be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to be challenged, but we're going to make it through. Usually, if you know before a challenge presents itself, if you are aware of that a challenge is coming, the challenge isn't that challenging. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull cards. We're gonna also talk about love. We're gonna talk about wealth. We're gonna talk about spiritual journeys. Okay, so these are love and wealth decks. Deck. That's what I said. Deck. Okay, so let us see. Whew. Do you guys have any plans for New Year's? Do you celebrate New Year's? I tend to view all holidays as a regular day. So that's just kind of how I function. That's how I function. All right. Ooh, that's intense. Intense. All right. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy. Okay. So let's get the next deck. All right. Three from there. We'll save this. Okay, let's get started. So, this is just going to be a collective type of read. Okay, here we go. Richness, marine life. Now, the start of 2021 is going to require you to make a decision for yourself. This, for many, will be a decision that's uncomfortable. It'll be a decision that will definitely take you out of a space that you're accustomed to. This is about to change your life. If you don't make these decisions, then other things will be allowed to happen to force you into deciding. I find this happens quite often with pretty much everyone. If you're already being given messages from soul, trying to guide you to a place of less resistance, less challenge, when you continue to ignore those messages, then your soul, not someone else's soul, your soul will then escalate the matter. It will amplify whatever it is you're struggling through, whether that amplification is just your feeling being much more sensitized to whatever you're going through, or it could be something as intense as creating new situations, really breaking down the parts of you that are resisting your own path. Now, if we look at this, it's card number 32, 3 being the number of a solid foundation, 2 being the number of guidance. You're being guided towards a more solid foundation from which to launch your new year off of. Now, richness, marine life. In the depths, although it's super dark, there is a richness of life in those depths. Okay. If you overcome your fear of your own depth, you can reach much more profound levels of realization, actualization, activation, ascension, all of these really powerful, beautiful things that so many people strive to achieve. And really, all you have to do is let go. Many of us feel like, oh, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and I have to make a list, and then I have to check off on the list. I have to go in specific order. Okay, no, that one is too hard. That one is even harder. Is and we instead of making lists of things to accomplish, what we end up doing is making lists of things that serve as visual reminders of how we are incapable. That's a lie. You are not incapable. You are capable of as much success, growth, movement that you give yourself permission to experience. It's all about what you believe. If you believe in the limitation, then the limitation exists. If you believe you are limitless and unstoppable, then everything that kind of gets in the way of you achieving whatever it is you need to achieve in 2021, they'll just be minor hiccups. They'll be just annoying things, but they're not circumstance that will really stop you from getting to where you need to go, need to be. Okay. Many of us are being shifted around within ourselves, where we are now being asked to exist in different mental houses within ourselves. Many of us are being moved around outside of us, meaning you're either being moved around in your social circles, or the more obvious, you're literally moving. Okay. For many of us, we have outgrown the use of the environment that we're currently in. The environment we're in is no longer supporting our growth. And so we're needing to move forward from that and move away from it. Okay. If you continue to exist, to live in an environment that basically begs you to continue cycles of toxicity, then you will. And there's no one left to blame. Okay. Like, it's scary to move. It's scary to move even within your mental houses, like to see yourself and your life differently. That's scary. Fear should not cripple you. Fear simply brings your attention to the things that need your attention. I have found time and time again, 100% of the time, I have found the thing I fear the most is actually the doorway that leads me to the next level of my growth. It's a doorway. Whatever it is you fear, whatever you believe is a wall that's like halted you in your tracks and now you have no options. And, that's a very common thought. There's nothing wrong with that. That is your fear kicking in. And your fear is bringing your attention to these thought forms, these old belief structures that no longer serve you. All you have to do is open the door. It's a trap door. It's for your own security. It's a trap door. All you have to do is push and it opens. You can keep the wall up. You can continue to use walls to protect yourself if you feel the need to have walls still. This is not about telling you how to live. This is about encouraging you to see there's other options. Okay. In 2021, we are kind of going to live out what we laid the groundwork for in 2020. Now, 2020, this year has been so challenging for everybody for one reason or another. Everyone has had things that have happened that have really caused us to feel confused, lost, disempowered, vulnerable. And that's for a reason. 2020 was the year, the way we see truth and illusion, that was completely destroyed. It was destroyed. Whatever we saw as truth, if it wasn't the actual truth, we were absolutely given the opportunity to see the ways in which it was actually an illusion and a distortion. But here's the thing, because of sovereign free will, we all had the right to see the truth, ignore the truth, negate the truth, and continue to resubscribe to the illusions and distortions that crumbling process helped us to see clearly. That's a choice we all make. All right. If at this point you feel like you still can't see what's going on in your life, you might have to reassess and see the ways in which maybe the truth was already presented to you and it was too much at that point. You can always revisit that. You can always go back, reassess, reobserve, and see where those thoughts take you. Card number one, expansion, north. You're being asked to rise in frequency. You're being asked to expand your consciousness. Again, your soul will ask. If you don't comply, the asking will become much more aggressive in energy, not to attack you, not to make you feel badly about yourself, but to encourage you to move forward from whatever it is that's causing you to believe that you have no other option. You have many options. Just because you have options doesn't mean it's easy. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This is really important. Sorry. Had to make sure there was no medical emergencies. There was a medical emergency this morning. We're good. We're good. We always know that there is something intense that has happened, and I have chosen to overcome it when I put lashes on because I'd be a bad bitch with lashes. I'm just saying, I'm just being funny, but really, that's how sometimes I help myself to get through bumps in the road. Girl, you don't feel badass? Put on some fucking lashes. You can work it. Okay. Put on some lashes. You're getting through today. There's no other option. If you're getting through today in tears, you're still getting through today. If you're going to get through today in tears held back by lashes, that's even cuter, but we getting through today. So that's how 2021 is going to work. Okay. You can either choose to allow yourself to crumble and stay down, or you can crumble, recognize that crumbling process, pick up all your pieces, put them back together, keep moving forward. It's not about ignoring what's going on in your life. It's about acknowledging what's going on, recognizing what you have the power to change, when you have the power to change it, and being okay with the process. This is a process. You go through your processes. You sometimes, as you go through the processes, find it very, very difficult to recognize it's a process. Everything in life is a process. Every event leads to another event, which leads to another event, which leads to another event. Just like in the schools, every lesson leads to another lesson, to another lesson, to another lesson, until eventually you get to a point. Oh shit, I'm graduating from this level. I'm now being promoted to the next level. And just like when you go from middle school to high school, that's a scary promotion. It's something to celebrate, but because it seems so big and intimidating, oh my God, what's going to happen in high school? You're going to rock it. That's what's going to happen. The only time high school is not enjoyable is when we allow ourselves to be limited in our beliefs. Yeah. Well, what about bullies? Well, the belief that you are limited in your ability to defend yourself. You know what? I'm not a violent person, but I do tell my kids, nobody gets to lay a hand on you. If your old mama doesn't lay her hands on you, no one else does too. They can use their words, and so can you. So, this is about empowerment. This is about a process that will challenge you in order to help you see exactly how powerful you are. Exactly how powerful you are. I once had someone who was like, I don't know, he was really big. I want to say like 6.5 feet tall. He was really big. And he tried to talk to me aggressively in the movie theater. And I said, "What?" Little old me. And he's like, "I'm sorry. Could you please scoot to the next seat?" Okay. We could do that since you asked nicely. So, card number 13, solitariness, desert. Many of us feel very, very solitary at this point. Many of us feel as though we are in a barren wasteland. You can grow crops in a desert. You can grow quite a bit in a desert so long as you know what to do. Well, I don't know what to do. Learn. Learn how to grow things. Grow things within yourself. You feel dried up? Okay. Dig deeper. It's said that no matter how dry the surface of the land is, if you dig deep enough, you will eventually find water. And I've seen many documentaries on indigenous peoples. I think it was in Australia or maybe South Africa. Very, very dry climate. And just dug and dug and dug. They knew where to look. And on the surface, it looked like there was no water. But when they dug, for some, it was just a couple inches, like 5, 6 inches, and they got to the water. You have to dig deep into yourself. Stop believing these lies that you are less than what you actually are. Why would you ever value the words that form the opinions of people who don't even know themselves? If they don't know themselves, how could they ever know you? Because really, all people know about you is what you allow them to see on the surface. That's all. That's all. Had I not shared with you that there was a medical emergency this morning, would you know that there's some shit popping off in my life right now? Probably not. Probably not. Is this me being fake? No, this is me mitigating. This is me recognizing in this moment, I've done what I can do. Everything is stable. We're good. After this live stream, we're going to reassess. We're going to make some phone calls and see what else I need to do for my part. But right now, I recognize I do not have the luxury of falling apart. Maybe later, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe after I'm done with doing the work at hand, I'll recognize I no longer have a need to fall apart. That's how the year will go for us. These opportunities to really allow ourselves to see, okay, what is the most powerful thing I can do in this moment? And really getting rid of this distorted view that powerful means aggressive, it means violent. Some of the most powerful warriors are very quiet. They make their moves in silence. They get shit done behind the scenes, not because they're sneaky, but because they are so focused on the task at hand. All the distractions are silenced, and their decision to participate in the distraction is removed. Remember this because the first portion of 2021, y'all are getting to know me and my sounds. Um, when I make sounds like that, it is really an uncomfortable, like, coping mechanism. I'm very uncomfortable with the information coming forward, and I'm trying to find a way to express it without creating unnecessary fear and without me withholding information from you that my soul is telling me to share. So, the beginning portion, all the way up to April of 2021, and I don't know what's April, but all the way up to April, it's gonna be a little bit confusing and chaotic within us as well as outside of us. Am I talking about rebellion? And no, that's not set. It would take more than half of us to agree to that type of outcome in order to manifest that type of outcome. I'm talking about energetically. Oh, is she talking about spiritual war? No, I'm talking about your spiritual journey. That spiritual war that we keep externalizing is actually an internal circumstance. That spiritual war that's going on within us that we keep trying to project outside of us is about to come to a head. Those of us who have chosen to continue our growth, you will be challenged. Who will you be challenged by? The people who have chosen to allow their fear to cripple them. And that crippling has caused them to grab on like a kitten, digging their nails in to a system that's already on its way out. It's on its way out. It's just not sustainable anymore. It's a system that has been on its way out for many, many, many generations. And there will be people who will fight to keep that system in place. Okay. They have some sort of what's it called? It's not Denmark. It's not Holland. It's not Switzerland. That one mental thing where you kind of like have compassion for your abuser, your captor. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I don't remember anymore what it's called. But some will have that. They'll go through that, and it's very scary for them. Stockholm. Thank you, Rowena. Thank you. Stockholm. Many of us have Stockholm syndrome. Ooh. So when people start with you, you can absolutely make it into this thing where it cripples you, where it causes you to be like, no, I can't ever. Oh my God, I'm so wrong. People think I'm crazy. Or you can be like, look them in the eyes and be like, ooh, baby, I see your Stockholm popping out. You might want to seek some professional counseling for that. You got a little bit of that Stockholm. Like I'm not even joking with you. I see some of that Stockholm coming out, and I hope the best for you, but I'm not going to stay there and join you. I'm just not. Like, I care what happens to you, but I'm finally growing enough to realize I need to care about what's happening to me first. They tell us on the airplane, put your mask on first before you help someone else with their oxygen. I got yeah, right, Rowena? I mean, you could laugh after you say it. I don't know. That would be kind of mean, but I would probably be laughing as I say it. I don't know. You'd be like, holy shit. Oh God, yeah, you know, I see your Stockholm. Card number 23, defend to the end, the worthwhile. This is you. You're worthwhile. You're worth whatever process you go through to understand the gravity of your power. You are worth it. You are worth it. Like I tell people, I'm a nice person, but I really don't have it in me to bullshit you. I'm just not patient like that. I'm like really patient with people as they're struggling and suffering. But for that kind of stuff, sugarcoating, I don't have it in me. I don't. I have a Capricorn moon. So what I end up doing is I'm brutally honest. I am. I'm Asian and I have Capricorn. That's like the highest level of honest elevation. It's brutal level. So when I say you're worth it, I mean it. I'm not saying things to make you feel good. I'm calling you out on your own bullshit. The lies you tell yourself that you're not, like people don't want to bother with me. I'm not worth it. I'm a bird. No, no, you're a fucking liar. I'm sorry. My Asian came out. That's fucking lies. Stop lying to yourself. That's just okay. Now, reeling back my Asian brutality, please be gentle with yourself. Please be gentle with yourself. The moment you first begin to realize the things that you participate in that actively hurt you, harm you, slow down your growth, that's like your moment of awakening. That's you realizing you deserve more. You're worth more. So you can't turn around and then start beating yourself up for not knowing. I mean, you could, but you'd be a total asshole if you did that. How would it be like if you just realized about chakras? You didn't know anything about chakras. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. That's a dick move. Why would I do that? Why would I say that? Okay, well, then why would I say that to myself? Self dickery is not okay. It's just not. It really isn't. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. When you grow, when you burst through layers and levels of dimensional consciousness, what ends up happening is you become very raw, very vulnerable. The slightest thing creates such a huge triggering reaction. Be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. When the things that people say cause you to really tear yourself apart inside silently, you need to find the courage to face yourself and be like, look, no self dickery here. We cannot do that anymore. You have probably done that your entire life. Many of us have. I know I have. I have a dickery crown. I do. I could be the biggest dick ever. And I do that to myself often. And I'm like, girl, so here's the thing. Like, you've been practicing and mastering that self dickery your whole life. What's that gotten you? Not a damn thing. So, isn't it insane for you to continue the self dickery, expecting compassion as a result? No, don't do it. I mean, you can if you want, but she feels, she knows. You know what you're doing to yourself. You know all the ways in which you're hurting and harming yourself. And too many empaths spend too much time telling ourselves, well, I don't really care what happens to me. It's just the people I love. That's when I would wild out. How about this? How about this? How about we remind ourselves that because we're such a foundational piece for other people, we're such a solid, stable force in other people's lives. If we allow ourselves to break apart, who will those people lean on? If that is how you can begin to take care of yourself and make yourself one of your priorities, then you need to start telling yourself that really guilt shaming line. Because I mean, you're already guilting and shaming yourself, right? You are. You know you are. So shift what you're guilting and shaming yourself about. I better take care of myself because now I've created a fucking dependency with these people. Now they depend on me for everything. And so, shit, that's a dick move if I do that. If I get hurt and then they're be like, hey, Emmie, I need you. Sorry, bruh. Emmie's she's out of it. She didn't take care of herself. That's the biggest dick move ever. Take care of yourself. You can feel, you know, when you need to make yourself a priority. You can feel and when people don't actually need help. Thank you, Carrie. I do have big dick energy. I was telling my brother that last night. He said I was a witch, and I told him I'm a warlock. I have fucking balls. This is the truth. Card number 2, inner trust. Can you please start trusting yourself? It can't be any worse than you trusting all the lies people have told you your entire life. The first lie being that you're not enough, that you're too much, that you're difficult to deal with. Oh, so I'm only difficult to deal with when you can't use me to further your ends. That's perfect. Make you fucking work for it. I'm just saying. So here we go. We're now tapping into the love portion. Okay, we're tapping into love portion of this reading. I just had to cover myself up. Here we go. 2021, for those of you who are struggling through relationship or lack of relationship feelings. Card number 21, the mind. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. There is a connectivity that was activated sometime in the early part of 2020. Okay, I want to say for us advanced beavers, I don't even know why beavers came up. For us advanced ones, oh, beavers came up because those of us who had this activate first, we had to function the way beavers do, create dams to dam up some energy. So there was an activation in the heart space. Okay. You probably had already been struggling through a lot of hurt. And so as this turned on, it re-triggered that hurt and it created dams. You began damming up energy along with all the others who were damming up energy. Okay. And this damming up energy is not to create permanent blockage, it's to accrue energy. I'm saying badass shit's about to happen. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. We had to close our eyes to what's actually going on in the first half. What's actually going on is the chaos is what was being used as the energetic framework from which romantic connections are either being amplified, created, or reestablished. Yes, yes. Next card number 11, diving for light. For some, which means most, you're going to have to dive real deep to identify the root connection. These are connections that are not superficial. And because they're not superficial connections, for many of us, it's going to be very, very difficult to understand, how does romance fit into this? Do they even like me? Is this going to work out? Like, where is this person that I'm supposed to be waiting for? I can feel the presence, but they haven't arrived. You got to dive deep. This is not a time or a period for you to try and establish superficial stuff. This is not just like, hey, girl, this really hot guy is going to be finding you. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. This is going to be deep connection stuff. Okay. For many of us, this deep connection, I'm so sorry, flower child, moonbeam 8. I'm about to say the T word. Cover your ears, cover your ears. For some of you, this will be twin flame stuff. Okay. So take that as you may. Take that as you may. Okay. Just take that as you may. Eat the cake, anime. Let me stop. Let me just stop. Okay. I'm pulling out some romance cards because I guess we need it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, good God. So here, okay, many of us have chained ourselves to some sort of romantic expectation. This has probably carried through for several years. At the very least, it's been very prominent throughout 2020. Here you go, you fucking magical unicorns. Free yourself. It's time to take control of your life. Take back that control. Okay. Take back that control. If your magical ass has been penned up this whole time, waiting for some knight in shining armor, you're a fucking shapeshifter. Okay. Shape shift one of your hooves into a hand, undo the latch, and get yourself out of there. Get yourself out of there. What is coming for love? For like the beginning portion, at least of 2021, is not a toxic love. It's not. And I hate to say this, many of us have identified a toxic individual erroneously as our twin because we think, oh, because they were taken away from me because they're toxic as fuck. That's, oh my God, that's twin flame separate. No, your soul's protecting you. Maybe your soul built the fucking fence. You're being protected. Let that person go. They already got removed. Stop holding space for them. They might come back. Yo, there was something powerful that I read on Instagram. It was between two girls, and one girl was like, I don't know what it is about me. Am I ugly? Because all I attract are fuck boys. And the friend replies with, no, you're actually pretty, more beautiful, actually. And you attract everybody. It's just you continue to pay attention only to the fuck boys. What are you paying attention to? The thing that hurts you? Because love hurts? No, it doesn't. Our expectations are what hurt us as we love others. Our attempt to control and dominate as we love someone else because we think we know better is what hurts us. Love doesn't hurt. Love can destroy you just as easily as it rebuilds you. Okay. So it's time to take control back of your life. Stop waiting around for someone who has been toxic, who was taken away for their toxicity. I mean, granted, this is a general reading, so we don't know who it applies. No, Michael says that's a lie. You know if it applies to you. He says that's a lie. I was going to say, we don't know who this applies to. You know if it applies to you. You absolutely know. Okay. This is not me judging and condemning you. This is me reiterating truth. Okay. If you know it applies to you, let that go. Let that go. You deserve to be loved in the way you are capable of loving. You deserve the loyalty that you give. Okay. Flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. It's time for you to, do whatever it is you need to do. Make some friends. I'm not about promiscuity. I'm just saying, make friends. I don't know what kind of friends, but something. Chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. I'm wondering if this applies to one person where, someone who you're just joking around with and friends with, it's actually more than friends. I see some love coming through. I really, really do. You go from like, I'm waiting for this person, and their wicked ass wife was so fucking wicked. This bitch decided to give birth to 10 of his kids 15 years before he knew I existed. She's such a bitch. Yeah, we got to stop with that. We got to stop with that. We just do. We do. We have to stop with that. We have to get ourselves out of this cage. There's nothing for you in that cage. There really isn't. There isn't. I'm trying to make light of things that have, if you've experienced it, I know it's hurt you really, really badly, but I really don't have it in me to cry with you right now. I don't want to cry right now. And so I have to make it a funny thing, but it's not a funny thing because it hurts you. So please stop allowing yourself to be hurt. Okay. Stop allowing yourself to be hurt. Use some of that energy to flirt with people who actually want to pay attention to you. All right. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Okay. So once you get out of that pen, because you're a magical ass unicorn, once you get out of that, don't recreate that with someone else, please. Okay. We're going to allow this flirting to happen naturally. We're going to allow the chemistry to kind of ripen on its own. And we are going to control ourselves from repeating the same effing mistakes we have continued to make. No more of that. We actually need real, substantial connections. And these connections can then ripen and develop into true love. All right. It can ripen into true love. I'm told two more cards. Damn it. I'm told two more cards. And this information on love can apply to anybody. It doesn't even have to be some specific label of like twin or whatever. How many? Two? Three. Could have sworn you said two. Ooh. See, okay. So when you go to control yourself, that does not mean play games and pretend as though you're not feeling some kind of way for somebody. Okay. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Now, romantic gesture does not include fornication. That's lust. That is not necessarily a romantic gesture. That is a sexual act. A romantic gesture may be, slow blinking and just like, hey, you look good today. Did you get a haircut? Oh, wow. Your skin looks amazing. Just little, hey, you want to have some lunch? Or my husband loved when I would just randomly pop up at his work. I wouldn't see him. I wouldn't tell him I was coming. I would just go to the receptionist area and I would have like flowers or something for him, or I would make him a whole fucking meal and I would bring it there with like a little note and I wouldn't tell him. And then he would just be called to the front and he would have a nice little surprise with a little note. I miss you. That's a romantic. I'm old school though. I don't do none of that fuck boy shit. Like, I'm so glad I'm old. I don't know how y'all are dating these days. That's just some bullshit environment. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So this is going back to the free yourself. This is something new. Now, for some of us, the newness of this love in 2021 has to do with them becoming a new person. Not you trying to force them to become a new person, but them becoming a new version of themselves while they were gone. Okay. For others of us, this is a completely different individual. It's not someone who you've known and they've just gone through this growth process. This is someone completely different. Okay. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. So we about to call y'all out. All of these cards are pointing to the potentiality of tremendous growth, a freeing of the self to receive real, healthy love. But if you're addicted to the same cycles and you're going to repeat that shit with new people, that's all you will have forever until you go through enough to cause you to choose something else for yourself. That's what you're going to have forever. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm speaking truth. I would love for you to experience the type of love that I experience regularly, where I'm free to be myself. I'm encouraged to be myself. And every time I shrink, he shines a spotlight on this makeshift pedestal that he keeps trying to put me on. And I'm like, I don't want to be on a pedestal. Can you stop? And instead of getting upset, he understands and tells me, it's your time to shine. Don't be shy. So be where you are celebrated. And it might take you some time if you've been involved in a lot of toxic things this year, previous years, your whole adult life. Who knows? We all have different histories. The longer you've been in toxic environments with toxic connections, the more harder it will be to exit those types of connections. Be patient with yourself. Recognize when you're feeling a little bit scared because this feels too real and you've been hurt so badly. Like pause, just pause, take a deep breath, release your expectation as to how this is to turn out. Just enjoy each other's time, enjoy each other's presence. And, if it's for another week longer, a month, a year, a lifetime, really, who cares? For however long you are with each other, you're enjoying each other. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Y'all want to hear some truth right now? I expected my husband to never talk to me again after I moved several hours away. I met him about a month or so before I was scheduled to relocate. So I figured I just friend, just hang out, and that's it. Just enjoy time with him. And, you know, when it's done, it's done. I don't have any expectations. That was like 22 or 23 years ago. Until now, I don't have any expectations in regards to how long we're going to be together. For however long that is, I'm going to love the shit out of him. I'm going to love the shit out of him. And no matter what happens, I know how much he's helped me to grow, either through pissing me off or supporting me. He's helped me grow quite a bit just with his presence. And that doesn't negate all the good things that have happened just because something bad happens later on, something hurtful or any of that. This is a time you have the opportunity to shift the way you choose to live. Just live. Stop trying to tell yourself how to live. You have the rest of the world breathing down your neck, telling you what to do, how to be, who to be, when to be that, for how long, how intense, fuck all of that shit. Seriously. If 2020 taught you anything, it's that the right people will always find you. Either they will remain with you or they will come into your life when you least expect it. 2020 has shown many of us the true faces of those people who we had on pedestals. Believe what they show you. When you want to believe so deeply that someone is a good person, and they keep showing you that they don't have good intentions, believe what they're showing you. It doesn't mean you have to now vilify them and attack them and teach them. No, it means be real with yourself. They don't have good intentions. It's usually directed at me. I need to be done with this. This is not healthy for me. It's okay for you to have those conversations within yourself. Is this person healthy for me? It's not, does this person deserve my love? Because you can love anyone you want. You can't really tell yourself who not to love. It's about being realistic, what you do with that love. Do you allow that love to be used as the shackle that keeps you bound to toxicity? Because at that point, that's not love, that's codependency. Huge difference. Love will free you. So, strength of vulnerability. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. Do you think you're going to be weak alone? So many people that I know, personally know, so many who were so scared to move forward, walk away from toxic things. They were just afraid. But when they found the courage, usually when they got pissed off enough, okay? That's why anger serves a purpose. When they got pissed off enough, when their anger became more potent than their fear, they charged forward. And every single last one of them, I was so scared. But looking back, oh my God, that was the best decision I've ever made for myself. That was like the turning point for me. Find your turning point. You are the key, you are the lock. Find how deep you have to go into your locks before you can turn that key and unlock your own doors. You are your own turning point. It's always been nothing but you. So, card number 16, melting mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. Whew. Your highest truth wants to come forward and be seen. I assume that wants to be witnessed by others because it's been too difficult for you to accept your truth on your own. And this is what you guys have done for me. The entirety of 2020, you guys have done this for me over and over and over again. This valid side of myself to help me accept the truth I know within me. But I'm having such a hard time accepting. So, card number 21, key to intimacy. Intimate love is a core need to be met in relation to ourselves and those closest to us. The journey to intimacy often includes learning what love is not. You've had more than enough time to learn what love is not. This is not about encouraging you to fixate on how someone has wronged you. Excuse me. Acknowledge the ways in which you were hurt. Recognize the pathways that were used to gain entry and access in order to hurt you, and then move forward. Move forward. Allow yourself to become intimate with the people who are worthy of your trust. Trust needs to be earned. Not everyone who's nice to you is your friend. Had to learn that the hard way. And just because they call you your friend, their friend, just because they use the term sister, like 90% of sisterhood suck. I mean, I don't have any sisters. It's always just been me and brothers. And I look at some of the relationships people have, like sister and sister, and I'm like, yo, that's some fuck shit. I choked that bitch. I choked that bitch. Fucking, she lucky. I fight her like a dude. What the fuck's wrong with these families? Hey, that's okay. That's their history. That's their connection. There is no need for you to continue that type of connection with them. People are who they are. Okay? They are who they are. It's okay. We don't need to tell people they're wrong. We don't need to correct their behavior unless it's malicious and directed at you. I ain't got no time for that. That's not worth my energy. My energy is not bargain basement. Your energy is not bargain basement. We can't just be like, oh, yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it. We not 7-Eleven energy. Okay. We're not open all the time and not everyone can access us. I mean, excuse me, but 7-Eleven also has hours sometimes, right? Right. In this environment we're in, don't they close? I mean, places where there's a curfew, all businesses have to close, right? Okay. This is the environment we live in now. At some point, you have to close your doors and not allow that in. You need time to recoup, time to recover. So allow yourself to experience intimacy with those who are worthy of your trust. These are the people who recognize your needs without you having to speak them, because these are just basic needs. Like everybody needs quiet time. Everybody needs a break from carrying other people's loads, including you. All of us do. Let's now move on to wealth, abundance. Let's see where 2021 is taking us, okay? The what cards? Uh, he's telling me something. I don't know what card that is. Hold up. Oh, dragon cards. Ooh. Dragons have my eyes got real big. Dragons have potent manifestation energy. I just tell you guys that, okay? They have very potent. Okay, what's this mean? I'm all like, so dragon. Let's see. Ooh, the teacher. To know is to grow. Knowledgeable, intelligent, growth oriented, trustable, understanding, communicative, compassionate, prosperous, social, inspired, self aware, generous, considerate, virtuous. So it's through the connectivity with healthy energy that we will begin to form the pathways that are necessary now. I I can say I've never really heard of this until this point. These are new pathways. They go through different part. Okay, so let me just rewind it. Each of us have our own personal morphogenetic template. That's our own personal blueprint, right? That would be the equivalent of the blueprint for your house. And then there's a blueprint for the neighborhood. The neighborhood would be the collective whole. So I'm being shown the blueprint for the whole neighborhood. New roads are being formed. That mitosis, spiritual mitosis, it's already occurred. You know, we're like at that pinched off phase. We haven't fully separated yet. So those of us who are willing to move forward with like the newer thing, we're being pushed down a road, or not pushed, but our attention is being shifted to see a road that takes us on a completely different route. Okay. It's a completely different route. This route, it has the potential to reach levels of abundance that you have not seen in this life before. This abundance is not just monetary. It's a wealth in all its forms: love, support, encouragement, opportunity, healing, um, spiritual connections like soul family. All of these things, this pathway, it's extremely porous, and those things can come in very, very easily. The other pathway that is still being used, I see it more like freeways in California that have brick retaining walls. You're not getting through there. I mean, it looks like fucking Bay Area traffic. Good luck with that. You're not going to speed down that. You're going to continue to frustrate yourself. That's a choice you have to make. All right. That's a choice you have to make. So, the magician, Rahu. I'm a master manifester. I told you guys. Okay. I'm a master manifester, acquisitive, alternative, intelligent, conscious, creative, magical, intuitive, inventive, alchemic, technical, artistic, dynamic, psychological, synthesizing, eccentric, charismatic. So, alternative intelligence. Ooh, that's potent. Can you see the world in a different way? Can you see the task at hand being solved in a different manner? If you can, no matter how outlandish the solution may seem right now, if you can do that, you're going to have an amazing, amazing 2021. It's still going to have challenges. It's going to still have moments of irritation. You're going to still have to deal with a few bungholios. Okay. That's just a part of life. But the potentiality that you can reach in 2021 as everything begins to crumble down, whew, I'm just saying it's some good stuff. It's some really, really good stuff. But you have to allow yourself to speak from soul. Crows are messengers from the other realms. If you can allow yourself to become a conduit, I'm not talking about channeling, letting other beings into your body. Let's not be spiritually promiscuous. Michael was like, "What?" They know what I mean. I'm talking about allowing yourself to speak the way I allow Michael to share these thoughts and concepts with me and me share with you. Okay. This is not about encouraging you to allow other beings in. Again, you are not a revolving door. Okay. I have higher standards for you. The communicator, Mercury. See, it has to be spoken. It has to be spoken. First, you have to learn, then you have to recognize, and then you have to speak it into being. Learn, recognize, speak. Learn, recognize, speak. The communicator, Mercury. Words have power. Truthful, outspoken, flexible, clear, quick, relatable, friendly, intelligent, open minded, intuitive, psychological, discriminating, informed, and articulate. Find your native language. And I'm not talking about the language that your ancestors spoke. I'm talking about the native ways in which your soul expresses itself. Is it through music? Is it through movement? Is it through visual art? What is it? What is your language? Because the human mind, the human concept of communication is either written or spoken, right? Soul is not limited by that. Soul can take any form it wants to communicate. It can tap into all of your senses, all your regular senses, as well as your higher sensory perception, your HSP. These are not extra. You were built with these included. You just kind of forgot how to turn it on. Maybe one of the breakers, you just flip the switch, flip the switch, turn it back on. Um, this is to me, this is telling me that if you can tap into your higher senses, okay, communicate with the soul, speak it into being and exist within your heart space, using that heart energy to filter all of this. Ooh, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful level of wealth that comes to you. Wealth in all its forms, abundance in all its forms. For some of you who lose your fear of how people will receive the growth that you make during times of pandemics, um, if you can lose that fear, I would use the term lucrative. I would say that all of this space that's been created because people have shut themselves down and removed themselves from um, this like port of manifestation. It's almost like a terminal, like airports. You're at the center of the terminal, and each terminal leads to an airplane, right? Um, when people begin leaving the terminals because they're scared, there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for you to pick and choose which way you're going to go. And no matter which way you choose, you're going to take off. You're going to lift off. Ooh. Okay. So that was the message. Oh my God. So I stayed in an Airbnb as I finalized the plans for my brother before I left California. And literally across the street from the Airbnb was a small church. It was just the weirdest thing. It was like a small chapel type church, and they had a larger parking lot that had two like bus size vehicles parked, one in front of the other. And I can't see things without my glasses, especially at night. And we pulled up and it was already dark. And I happened to look across the street, and across the roof of the one of the buses, it says it all lifts off from here. And then Michael made my attention go forward to the bus in front of it. to which I saw snow-capped mountains and whitewater rafting, which that's the kind of stuff that happens in Telluride. Mhm. And so now it's a very clear message, at least for me, if not for you guys, at least for me. I feel myself tingling and vibrating. This is a very clear message. It all takes off from here. I just have to allow myself to generate enough speed for liftoff. I have to stop slowing myself down. I have to stop every time I feel the speed increasing as I'm being launched towards my purpose. I tap the brakes. No, no more of that. I know I'm not the only one that does that. And I know I'm not the only one here right now that's feeling those vibrations of confirmation, that tingling and vibration within you. It feels really good. I just gotta, okay. Maybe if I cover more skin. It's really tingly right now. Ooh. Golden orange dragon expands your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. Remember your magnificence. Ooh. This is about using your discernment to really decide, does this person need my help? Or is this another opportunity that my soul is presenting me to choose myself, to choose my growth? A lot of the tapping of the brakes that I was just talking about was me stopping my momentum so I could pause and help someone else. For some, they really need help, and that's a part of your journey. Being able to balance your forward momentum and helping them along. For others in your life, they just don't want to do it themselves, and you're easy pickings. I mean, let's just put it blunt. Let's just put it blunt. It's easy to get you to do whatever they don't want to do, so they're going to have you do it. Those are the people you don't need in your life. I mean, you can still be friends, you can still be family, but you don't need them consistently in your life. You need to conveniently become busier and busier and longer periods between your responses and their texts. Okay? It's about time you conserve your energy for your liftoff. That's deep. Ooh. Silver lunar dragon bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakras. So you have this light ascension activator, you have this lunar feminine energy. Lunar feminine energy is creation energy. I mean, that's manifestation energy. You're being charged up to manifest. That's what this is telling me. I'm getting tingly again. Dark blue galactic dragon helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Was I not just talking about blueprints? Okay, calm down. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. You guys, I will share this with you. I was allowed to experience a period, a healthy period, healthy amount of time of struggle. And this predates my time staying in a parking lot. And all of this had to happen in order for me to allow for my coding to be activated. Once that activation occurred between myself and my soul, I was then beautifully realigned with my purpose. And as that realignment happened, so self and soul, they're realigned now, right? And as they realign, it dilates the pathways of abundance. All of that came rushing at me. I didn't know what to do with it. I gave it all away. I'm talking about abundance in all its forms. All of it rushing to me. I didn't know what to do with it. So I gave it all. I literally gave it all away. All of it. Gave it all away. I'm not worried though. I recognize so long as I'm aligned with my purpose, that pathway of abundance remains dilated. It remains open. Why does it remain open? Because I'm special? No. It remains open so that your worries about finances and other earth-based things, that doesn't become too much of a concern for you. And it's not to say you're going to be ridiculously wealthy, like multi-millionaire, billionaire status. It is to say that you will begin to recognize whenever there is a true financial need, it'll be covered just miraculously. The money comes in, it's covered. I don't have to worry about that. I can continue focusing on further refining, developing my gifts, the things that I will use to further serve my purpose and serve humanity. And sometimes your service to humanity involves products to be purchased. Sometimes it involves services to be purchased. Sometimes it involves sitting at the head of a company that makes billions of dollars a year. We don't need to limit ourselves with these archaic beliefs that were used to distort the journey of the star seed, blue ray, indigo child, crystal child, light worker, light warrior, whatever you identify as. Stop believing that bullshit lie. You don't serve humanity by continuing to deny your abundance in any of its forms. So, this is the year things are being shifted into place. Your abundance is being given back to you, handed to you. You don't even have to call room service. They're already knocking on your door. Will you open it? Or are you still stuck in a place where you're fumbling around trying to figure out what is this contraption on the door? It won't allow me to open it. What's this metal thing? And what is this stick? And what am I supposed to stick it in the? Yeah, recognize you are the lock. You are the key. You are the hand that holds the key. And you are your turning point. You are at a place where you can choose to remain stagnant, or you can bust out on the scene crispy and clean. So I'm going to pull you guys two more cards from this deck, and then we will have Rumi finish it off for us. Okay, Rumi is going to finish it off for us. This year carries with it tremendous potential. And I'm not talking about that bullshit potential that people talk about. Oh, new earth, new earth. What happened in 2020, 12, 20, 12, 21? What happened? Huh? Did the earth break in two and the good people on one side, the bad people on? No, none of that shit happened. That breaking apart was inside you. And if you are too busy trying to play this role of you are badass, you don't feel things because you're not weak, it's not going to work out in your favor. It's not. It's time to feel. It's time to allow other people to witness your process, because it's in that witnessing you that at the points where you need the energy the most, you never know, they might come back and gift you your energy back to you through their presence. Nothing more, just their presence. All right. Wisdom Lake Queen, celebrate the creative feminine energy and the vitality of life. You're going to be celebrating. If you allow that feminine energy, that creative manifestation energy to come into your life, you're going to have a lot to celebrate. You're going to have a lot to celebrate. And, hey, let's face it, a healthy, powerful feminine energy cannot be controlled. I'm not talking about, feminines who are combative and, angry at everybody. And no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, okay, let's use me as an example. I know at this point I am a powerful feminine force. I'm sorry, you can control me. You need me in a box? You need me in a dress with high heels? Bitch, no boxes. I'm barefoot in my jammies. What you gonna do about it? Not a damn thing, because I won't let you. It's that type of feminine energy. I don't need to fight with you. I just need to let you know. Try someone else. Not gonna work here. I'm gonna continue with what I need to do. I have things that I have planned that need my attention. That's what I'm going to focus on. I have people that I love who have earned my trust. I'm going to focus on them too. All of that other bullshit where we're going to play this game where you're going to try and show me you can dominate me and I'm going to try and show you that you can't. I'm sorry, I've outgrown that. It bores me. Try someone else. Try someone else. So you have to enter that part of your life where you can just, regardless of your gender, your sexual orientation, all of that, whatever, we all have that feminine energy within us. You have both the feminine and the masculine energy within you. Allow that feminine to be free enough to be the spiritual savage that it is. You look at the animal kingdom. I'm sorry, which one is the savage? I haven't seen a male praying mantis bite off his woman's head after they copulate. Okay. Okay. So empower yourself. Granted, you don't need to bite anyone's head off. This unsanitary. So card number 42, the yellow Buddha family of the South. Replace pride by knowing that separateness is an illusion. Mm. And sometimes what we have to do is recognize the people that are brought before us are simply reflections of either what's going on within us right now, what we might need to address within us very soon, or what we have already outgrown and are being reminded not to return to. Life has a beautiful way of really, really unfolding in the most beautiful timing and detail. The people who you need to help you grow, they will be present when it's time to grow. And sometimes their presence will grow you through adversity. Other times, their presence will grow you in a more compassionate, uplifting, empowering way. Both are equally valid, both are equally necessary. Trust in your ability to overcome whatever life brings to you, even through tears, even through your insecurities. You have overcome everything in your life. But I mean, it still hurt. Well, that's only because you haven't let go of that moment. You're forcing yourself to live in a moment that has passed. And yes, it's going to hurt when your soul is dragging you forward. That's why it hurts. Allow your soul to carry you. If you don't have the courage or the recognition of your strength and your stamina to walk forward, allow it to carry you. Allow your tears to wash away the pain. We have all been through enough. All of us, every single last one of us, we have been through enough. And this is a period where we can begin to choose what we will allow ourselves to experience in 2021. So let's pull out Rumi. These cards always have banging messages. Banging. Okay. All right. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. Here we go. Ooh, see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right. Card number 30. Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving while our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. Your mind is not in alignment with your spiritual growth. The mind functions to seek out limitations, to seek out potential threats, utilizes fear and ego to keep the human body safe. You are more than just a human body. You are also a divine soul. So, lose that monkey mind that's simply interested in survival. Reach a point in your journey where survival is no longer the goal, where you've come to a point you recognize you've survived everything. You're a survivor. Maybe it's now time to choose to thrive. Maybe. There is somewhere you're meant to be. It's here, now in this moment. There's a gift right under your nose and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole. Y'all. But your head will tell you this is not possible unless the door is unlocked, even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment without you laying to witness it. Your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return, even as he steps out the front door. Frustrated temporarily, he will chew on some shoes and fall asleep peacefully until his master returns. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole when it can rest. Leave it be. Instead, come dance with me. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about the world, how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be open instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is, because the life as you've lived it and the life that will unfold before you has already been perfectly designed for your greatest potentiality to be reached. You simply have to agree to align. That's all. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than what it is. You're being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares to put the mind to one side and say, "Tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great, rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step." And to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. You are ready, you see. You're a sweet soul dancer. You're ready to live beyond what you know, to have it not matter if you don't understand how life can work itself out, or how it could be that someone so normal and ordinary as you and I could also be so magnificent, wild, and divine. The need for answers and plans, assurances and explanations is passing out of your world now. This is about living in your truth, entering a state of gnosis where you leave behind the childhood of your soul and usher in the young adulthood. This gnosis will take your hope and your faith and ripen it into a beautiful, nourishing fruit of knowing that whatever happens in life, you will be okay. You will be provided for, and you will thrive. You are not to wait for permission, for explanation, or even for another dance partner. For I am already inviting you onto the great dance floor. You are to let go of any stigma around not knowing. When someone asks you what you're going to do next or how you're going to manage, you're given the divine mandate. With relish, reveal the truth. I don't know. Know nothing and dance, sweet soul, for all will unveil itself to you in perfect harmony and timing. Your heart shall create the steps in response to the music of the spheres, happening now, alive and spontaneous and free. This oracle brings you a special message. If there is an issue, apparently unsolvable or unknowable in your life now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of it, working through the knot and unraveling it. Fear not. Do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take the night off from worry. Sometimes divinity solves our problems by creating enough irritating, agitating, uncomfortable struggle that you have no choice but to move forward from it. I see this all the time, where you become so comfortable in a space you've outgrown, a space that's now affecting your future growth. And so soul will create enough agitation to wiggle you out of there. And it's always for your benefit. Whether you understand it or not in that moment, it is always for your benefit out of pure love by your soul. Fuck trying to understand other people's intent. Why would they want to? Who cares what they're intending? They are being used as a tool by your soul to get you to the places where you can grow more beautifully, more unrestricted, like the wildflower that you are. It's going to be a beautiful new year. One full of promise, one full of potential power. Are you going to allow it to not be tapped into? Are you going to choose to continue participating in the cycles that have not eased your worries? That's a choice only you can make. Maybe watch this video a few more times. There's layers and layers of messages that the human mind can't take in all at once. If you watch it once right now, you might hear message A, and then you watch it again, even with the same words that gave you message A, you get a secondary message and a third message and a fourth message. There is so much rich, complex simplicity in what is going on in this moment with us, between you and I, in this sacred space that we are sharing. There's so much energetic exchange and potential for healing. Only if you'll allow it. These aren't even my words. These are words of soul. So listen. Listen not to the girl in front of you, but to the soul that's guiding the girl. Just listen. See how it fits. See where the words lead you in your life. It's going to be a beautiful time. Even through tears, I trust you can find the beauty in life. I really, truly do. So, if you guys could please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe, turn on that notification bell, join me when I'm live. I also go live. No, I also do videos. I do readings on TikTok. I haven't in a little bit, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'll do it soon. I might come live later on today, depending on my schedule, and do expedites. I know I missed on Sunday. I'm so sorry. You know, imploding life. It's all good though. It's all good. I will be live again very soon, hopefully later on today. I'll see you guys, and I love you very much. Bye.